What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? It is I, James L. Seagraves, coming to you live at 7:05 on Tuesday, December 3rd, 2024, for our week 13/14 edition. Might even be 14/15 edition. I don't even know. I'm so tired. I don't know what's going on. Edition of the Commissioner's Corner, also known as Playoff Week 2, 3. I don't know. We're moving into the Elite Eight this week, slash the round of 32 for the suck bracket. So, what's nice about these playoff ones is that they're short and sweet. We get right to the point. We have to go through the top 20 and the bottom 10 because all that's behind us. The only thing that matters now is the process forward. Who's going to make it to the final four of the MUSL bracket? Who's going to win the suck bracket? At the end of the day, obviously you want to win the whole championship, but really, much like the NCAA tournament, the main thing is get to the Final Four. That's the big dance, if you will. Everyone who makes the Final Four wins something, $100 extra, and then guaranteed to win at least $100. So that's that. So we're going to get right to it. Before we look at the bracket, we, of course, are going to take a look at our fantasy recaps. And we're going to hope that the music gets picked up on this new software. I still haven't messed with it. I've been so busy. It's crazy. I'm about to just collapse every day. This is a holiday season's tough in this house normally, much less with taking on a volleyball team and all the other crap. So, nevertheless, What? This was the game of the week. Okay, here we go. According to Michigan Ultimate Survivor League, myfantasyleague.com, the game of the week was Hernandez Hitman versus Alada. It was so close. It ended up being 0-0 because neither of these fucking cucks put in a lineup, even though they were going for $50. These two cucks were going for $50, and they put in a lineup that totally sucked because neither of them submitted a lineup. Both of them tie, which means that whoever they're playing next round, which I believe is James St. Germain, will get an automatic bid into the next round. But we go to the games that people did try. Providence Power, my Providence Power, 91.41 over the number one seeded former champion, Tom Brother Matt Farmer. He goes down, farmersonly.com. He might have to find someone to go down on him on that website because he couldn't sustain the damage that was Josh Allen scoring 10 points, a receiving touchdown, and a passing touchdown in the same exact play. I've never seen it happen before, ladies and gentlemen. He scored a receiving touchdown and a passing touchdown on the same play. Don't think it's ever been done. That helped him get to 24.21 points, which helped us defeat farmersonly.com by a score of 91.41 to 74.46. Here we go. Chop it off. It'll make you stunning and brave, folks. His reign of gender reassignment terror has been ended by none other than the Kaminsky method. Mike Swine Flu Kaminsky, first-time owner, makes it to the Elite Eight as the 8th seed, 92.89 behind Lamar Jackson, Chase McLaughlin, Dallas Cowboys, who didn't start their defense, by the way, Joe Mixon, and Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase has something to smile about. He at least won a game in this league, but not in the NFL. We go down here. Dollar Bill Jones will not bookend this season. His reign is ended by the most decorated owner in muscle history, Louis Diana Fantasy Football Team. He keeps winning. He's made it to the Final Four multiple times. He's won before. He's come in second before, and he's in the Elite Eight again. He's only had one bad season, folks. Talked to him yesterday. He says he has color-coded spreadsheets. This is why this guy's so good. If you're not good at this league, get some fucking color-coded spreadsheets, and maybe then you will start Bucky Irving. You get 16.75 points. Maybe not, but still, that's how that works. We move on to the next game. It was close. It was a tragedy that Christian McCaffrey went down with a non-contact knee injury because the Apache Chiefs were well on the way to fucking tomahawk chopping Nantam Knights and almost knocking out a team with 99.17 points in the playoffs. But no, Christian McCaffrey goes down on a non-contact injury, which ended his chance at winning. and ends the Apache Chiefs season. But 93 points is a hell of a score to lose. Jared Goff, Brock Bowers. Nobody chanced that, but still, he put up 18 points. Goff put up 12. A bunch of other good scores. Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor, and of course the Cowboys defense, who everybody and their brother started this week. Speaking of Jared Goff, golf and balls. 96.16 over sewer bombs as Chris Russell, the number 2 seed, sends Craig Kissel, not Craig, Craig Kissel, whoever the hell that is, down back to the sewer. Golf and balls behind Bucky Irving's 16 points again. Kansas City Chiefs defense both started. They both sucked. The Tallywhackers, they continue their reign as the 10 seed, the worst of the conference champions, still killing it. Beating Moose Knuckles. Keith Dowdy got drawn in the wild card, won a game, maybe won 2 games. I think he won 1 game. Yes. And then lost this week behind Bucky Irving again. And then this is a good game here, folks. Malcolm Rodriguez in the middle of my thighs, 83.3. She was number 1 most of the year. She's number 3 going into the playoffs. She sticks it in ya. 83.8 or 83.3 to 80.72 behind Chase Brown. Get his album. It's coming out. He's a country singer. He sounds like one anyway. And of course, the Dallas Cowboys started by her. Although this clown started Kansas City Chiefs thinking that the Panthers wouldn't be great. They should have beat them. That was last week. I don't even give a fuck who the Chiefs play this week. The Chargers, I don't know. That's who they play this week. I don't care. The Chiefs are the biggest fraud team. Oh, it was the Las Vegas Raiders. Biggest fraud 11-1 team in history. The Crush. Almost both Kissels are sent home this week because Craig Kissel, Chris Kissel, both kissing their season goodbye as you Thielen Lucky Punk, the number 27 seed, defeats the number 22 seed, 79.39 to 75.99. Brian David may make my alternate reality come true. He is a former champion in one of the universes that I've lived in. Not this one, but maybe, just maybe, his 5-6 regular season record will propel him into the promised land. We'll see. And that's it for the muscle bracket. We're going to go on to the suck bracket. The double G spot. 73.28 over and play with Mike. Get to 58.93. This is the round of 64, so we're going to go quick. Then we got My Balls Eckers, Don Knapp sending Paul Ward back to Mullen Incorporated to try to find a job. Steel City Sackers wasted a hell of a lineup against the scrub Pat Provost Sr., who I love more than anything, but I don't love it when people don't submit lineups, and Southern people waste perfectly good lineups, 97.01 to 0. Arguably the biggest blowout of all time, but nobody cares. Super original, the other Paul Smith, up over Football is Life. Both farmers get sent home back to the fields this week as Matt Farmer and Tom Farmer both lose. Tom Farmer put up a much shittier performance than his brother. Ketchup and Mostert, a 2-point victory over Hitting Ruggs. Mason Bradley leaves. Alex Erickson, the honeymoon does continue in the suck bracket behind Josh Allen. Freddie versus Jason defeats the other Bradley, Maddie Bradley, 69.4 to 53.7. She's a former champion. She had a shitty year. And the Hitman, speaking of shitty, the Hitman did not even bother submitting a lineup. The $75 million man cashes in 75 cents worth of performance could have been and wins over the Hitman who did not submit a lineup. Lame. Bracy Trudell, you know him well. Finally puts an end to Michael Carl's brutal season of having to play tough opponent after tough opponent. He loses in the end to an opponent who is marginally tough, but he's got 17 screeds going on, so he has an advantage. Anglers, Ryan Knight puts up a very T-Mobile Network-esque performance, a.k.a. a 0 over Just Here So I Don't Get Fined, or under Just Here So I Don't Get Fined, rather, as Paul Wallenwine. He was good on the season. He didn't. He had his motivational speech by yours truly, and now he's in it, and now he's into the round of 32 in the suck bracket. Jeskaholics, don't call me Jerkaholics Anonymous, over Cheechki 95.16. Jim Jeske, he took over a team. He could go all the way. It's possible. He's in the round of 32 with a new owner. He'll probably be in next year. Hawaiians, the lovable Gary King, takes the even more lovable Parker Dalton to the cleaners, 60.77 to 52.59 behind Chase McLaughlin's performance. And Vic in a box. Josh Griner defeat Bobby Wood. I think they're referrals of each other, one way or the other. Nevertheless, had to send his friend packing. Amber Cole. She was stressed out over assigning teams for flight volleyball. She's got one hell of a cute dog. His name is Wemby. And Wemby went balls deep on balls deep. Amber Cole sends her good friend John Gillette home 69-61. Joe Mixon, cool fake necklace. Patriot Thunder, this is who it was. Oh, wait, no, this wasn't. Patriot Thunder, yes, it was. Patriot Thunder beat Nibble my Gibbs, Cough on my Goff, who did not submit a lineup. John Zemer, you are the weakest link. Goodbye. Patriot Thunder, I believe you are the one who does not have to submit a lineup next week, but you have to submit somebody. So submit a bunch of shitty players in the defense. Although you could theoretically get negative points. That would not be good. Jeremy Orr. Better bring your A game. Jeremy Orr wins 73.15 over Rob Jazerski, who his season comes to an end with little fanfare. Speaking of little fanfare, Eric Minturn, strong street soldiers, assembled in the street and couldn't do shit. They couldn't beat low-hanging fruit. They needed 3 points. They couldn't get it. And that's probably because Baker Mayfield let everybody down. I'm pretty sure Baker Mayfield let a lot of people down this week. There we go. There's that. And then we have Show Me Them Your TDs. Chad Lige over Muckers. Scott Muckovitz, 109-85. Good job for you. Greg does not come from this time. Didn't submit a lineup. Young Garrity puts up 58. Other Garrity, not Whip Fear so well as Mama Garrity, Melissa G, Mama G, out of retirement, goes back in retirement behind Jason Taylor's Whispering Eyes. 83-80. Good game there, though. Mick DeBoe's season finally ends at the hands of Square Deal Squadrons. 70.13 to 47.64. Bo Nix didn't have much of a game. They scored a lot of points. I can't believe he didn't score much. Puka Nakua looks like a generic character in NBA 2K7. Digger Phelps beats Baby Back Gibbs. Stephen Gurgley's horrendous end of the season is finally put out of its misery. I think he was 6-1 at one point, ends up 7-4 and getting bounced in the second round, aka first round for most people of the suck bracket. Unfortunate, but that's what happened. Andy Plum, you dangle $50 bill in front of his head, and all of a sudden he's submitting lineups. Go figure. Speaking of not submitting lineups, Canton Hall of Famers, dong. He put a real dong performance up, aka a big sloppy cock who could do nothing right. Got a 0. Thank you very much for playing. Bye-bye. Rob Aiken for a victory, and he was. The Double C's is one who named Wenby the dog. Loses the gimme 2 for the road, makes Double C's hit down the road. David Dalton keeps the Dalton family hopes alive after Parker was defeated. David Dalton, 88.69 to 4.98. Prime time over the Suicide Squad. J-Mac, Justin McClinchy. He was supposed to come Friday Night Mega, I think, or maybe a euchre or something. He takes nights off to come to things and doesn't show up. It doesn't matter because Brian Benore, when the moon hits your eyes like a big pizza pie, that's Benore. He wins 76.75 to 57.71. Prime time behind Tua's ridiculous haircut. And that mad scientist couldn't do shit against Rocky Keeling as he sends Justin Redding packing behind Joe Mixon. 99% luck, 1% heart. DeMar Hamlin's booster shot actually does something for once. Prevents Garrity's Gigolos from winning. That's about all it prevents. But nevertheless, Steve Garrity, the only Garrity who won this week was Young Bubba. So nevertheless, DeMar Hamlin, Austin Pollard moves on. Death by 1,000 punts. Aaron Minturn keeps the Minturn family hopes alive, defeating yet another Bradley. Bradley's had a bad week. I'm not sure if the Black Hole won or not, but we'll find out. The Black Hole did win as they beat Nut all over face 79-66. Bucky Irving, very popular started. The handsome Jaime Fairbairn, the high score for hanging with Mr. Hernandez, 74.99 over Joe Buck yourself, 73.58. And then password is Taco, 62.99. Chase McLaughlin, 15 points. The Clockwork Elves, my son, who I no longer can beat because he's 18. I'll get an assault charge because beating your child is completely legal. He puts up 0, and otherwise I would punch him in the mouth because no son of mine is going to score 0 in the playoffs, but maybe we need a genetic test. I doubt it if you ever met the kid. Do you even Swift, bro, beats the Donkey Punchers, 91.89. Ben Hester moves on. The Donkey Punchers did not spin the lineup. You guys are clowns for not submitting lineups because you're going for $50 and you don't deserve the $50. You deserve to suffer in the Bidenomics economy. You really do. Really, really do. That's a terrible. That wasn't even a Trump impression. That was some weird knockoff. Fucking, I ordered my Trump impression on Temu, and that's what I got. There was your fastest, 8 minutes. Nobody cares. We're going home. We're going to look at the brackets, see where we're at for matchups as we hit to the Elite Eight in the round of 32. Click this playoffs button. Let me get these stupid sound clips out of the way. I am kind of curious to see how this sounds, so give me 1 second here. I just want to hear how this sounds for record going forward without having to do much. Pulling up some stuff over here. Yes. You have all my information. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see how this. That's what I'm saying. And I'm going to try one more for all the people who did not submit a lineup. There you go. See how they sound on the playback because this is live. Like Bill O'Reilly once said, F it, we'll do it live. Here we go. So I was right, 13 to 14. You think I know what week it is, but I don't. I'm sorry. Nevertheless, your Elite Eight are the number 17 Providence Power taking on the number 8 seed Swine Flu Mike Kaminsky, whose magical season continues after defeating Chop It Off. It'll make you stunning and brave twice over reality, folks. Lewis Diana football team taking on Nab Tab Knights in what is probably the game of the week. The 4 seed versus the 5 seed. These are huge, owners. Huge game. Huge. Best game, really. Another Timo impression. I'm not with it today. I'm so tired already, and it's 7:22, and I have to work a full day. But Lewis Diana football team and his colored spreadsheets, or should I say spreadsheets of various shades to be politically correct, taking on Nantab Knights. Michael Myers. He focused on one team this year, and he's doing better than he's ever done, I believe. The number 2 seeded Golf and Balls, led by Chris Russell, taking on Josh Crampton's number 10 seeded Tallywhackers, and a good game there. And then the Cinderella story can continue against Cinderella herself, perhaps. You feeling lucky, punk? The number 27 seed, alternate universe former champion, taking on the number 3 seed Malcolm Rodriguez. Middle of my thighs. 9-2 had the best team all year. Kind of put in a shitty lineup last week because they didn't really use one, didn't need to win to get the bye. They didn't care. I'm glad she did because otherwise I'd be playing her this week. Oh, no, I wouldn't because the number 1 seed lost last week to me. Bum, 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 bam, bam. Where's that at? Where's it at? Oh, no. Did I lose it? No. There we go. And then in the suck bracket here of the double G spot, taking on Vic in a box. The always amazing Gary Grant taking on Josh Griner, who's also always amazing. Speaking of amazing, the most amazing name in football here, DeMar Hamlin's booster shot taking on Aiken for his ship. Rob Aiken versus Austin Pollard. Then we have Aaron Minturn taking on the last. So we have the last of the most here. We have the last Minturn, although there's only 2, taking on the last Bradley. And the matchups for family survival. There it is. Hang with Mr. Hernandez. Chris Melclory. He's the only Melclory versus Taco Don Valenti, former champion, still alive. Do you even Swift Bro? Ben Hester taking on Don Knapp as my Balzac hurts. Takes on Do You Even Swift? Dustin Hanson, Steel City Sackers taking on super original Paul Smith. Alex Erickson, Ketchup and Moser taking on Freddie versus Jason. Jeff Arbogast. The $75 million man taking on Suck It. Bracey Trudell versus Craig Monahan. Paul Wallenwine, just here so we can find, taking on Jesscaholics Anonymous. Will his Cinderella run continue at taking over a team and moving far into the playoffs here? Well, they only won 1 game technically. Gary King versus Amber Cole as the Lions take on Lakers. And then Patriot Thunder taking on nobody because both Vincent Villada and Antoine Bacon were just not wanting to win $50, I guess. So James St. Germain, if you watch this podcast, submit somebody, because if you don't submit anybody, you will get 0 and tie. And then the winner of Cucumbas and Low Hanging Fruit will have an automatic win next week. So speaking of that, Jeremy Orris Cucumbas and Low Hanging Fruit, Eric Hester, rather, taking on each other. Show me them TDs, Chad Lige against Bubba Garrity, the last Garrity in the league. Whispering Eyes, Jason Taylor taking on Squadrels. Neil Seagraves, he likes to leave his crap in the ballroom and then get locked in the freight elevator. Word on the street is he finally got out and he will be able to submit a lineup. Digger Phelps taking on Get Me Two for the Road. David Dalton versus Andy Plum. Prime Time. Brian Benore taking on Rocky Keeling. That does not rhyme as well or flow as well. And that is your suck bracket matchups. Those are your suck bracket matchups. A couple of things real quick, if you will. Let me see if I can pull this up. We are hosting a viewing party this week. We've been off for a while. So if any of the muscle members want to come down, you're always welcome to come down to Hal Brown. That's Bracey's. Oh, I'm not even on this. Wait, I should be on this thing. Share this tab instead. Here we go. The Lions versus Packers. Here we go. Maybe. Got my internet slow. Yep, here it is. It's going down. We don't know who's coming. Oh, the Dr. Feelgood's on his way. I just made this event. We do this. We try to do this every Lions game, but we've been gone for a couple weeks. So the entire muscle's invited. If you want to come out, just come on down to the Commonwealth Commerce Center. Give me a call. We'll let you in. It's the Lions versus Packers. And, that means a lot to us. So there we go. That's your game or your week 13/14 wrap up. Hopefully the audio sounded okay. We're almost there, guys. We're almost there. And another season's almost in the books. We're moving into the final four. This is a critical week for the muscle bracket, the top tier bracket, because you win this week, you get a guaranteed $100. Okay. So try to put in a lineup. And if you're in the suck bracket, unless your name's James St. Germain, put in a great lineup. James St. Germain could get away with just putting in scrubs, but you have to score at least 1 point to win. So I'd put in somebody. I'd be careful, though. Yeah, if you got negative points, I think the tie would technically beat you, which would be hilarious. Be the first time that's ever happened. So, all right, get out there. Have a great day. Thanks for joining me. See you next week. Goodbye.